Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to an all-new reacting and reviewing. And as always, I'm your host, AnimeGirl500. And Christmas is just round the corner, and 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 I am excited, which, like most people. And as I said in my previous episode, this one is going to be a Christmas one. Well, Christmas with a pinch of Halloween added into it. And some of you may know which film I'm talking about. And it's one in the film that I watch every year with my family. Tonight's feature I'm going to be taking a look at is The Nightmare Before Christmas. By God, I love this movie. I watch it, like I said, I always watch it every year with my family, and because so we're gonna watch it again on Christmas Eve because my brother's gonna get us on Blu-ray, which should be interesting to see this in HD. So it's like I said, I usually watch this like coming up to Christmas, and since it's around the corner, why not check this out? So, does this movie still hold up? We shall soon find out. So, with that in mind, grab something to drink. And it's time to kick back, relax, and let's watch The Nightmare Before Christmas. Okay, for a film made in 1983, and one that's stop motion, in the opening sequence, just after the shadow of the moon at night, when you see the bats flying, you can easily see the strings. But it's stop motion, so you have to take some liberties. It's not the queer you're thinking. That word does have other meanings, you know. Get your mind out of the gutters. Right, that's one thing I never got. Then the bit where Jack tried to make a snowflake out of paper and scissors. But the way he cut the paper, he ended up turning into a spider. I don't give a shit if that's stop motion or not. I call bullshit on that. Because everything I know about arts and crafts is being questioned by that. You know, for a scientist, Sally's creator, Dr. Finkelstein, isn't really good at security because Sally managed to escape again. For a scientific doctor who managed to make a living girl and doesn't know how to keep her indoors. It makes you wonder how big his IQ actually is. I'm just saying, that's all. Okay, here's another thing I never got. The kids that work for Oogie, they're referred to as Oogie's boys, yet one of them is clearly a girl. I don't know if that's like a scripting error or not, but something seems a bit off about that, if you ask me. I will say, the music in this still holds up because this is the Oogie Boogie song, and the guy who voices him, Ken Page, he can one hell of a good voice. Yeah, it is quite catchy, so, and trust me, it'll make you sing along to it as well. Because say what you want about Danny Elfman, he can put off a damn good soundtrack for anything he works on. And we find out that Oogie was made of bugs. I knew there was something about him that used to bug me. Oh, come on, you knew it was coming! Okay, that was Nightmare Before Christmas. Let's just stop that. Right, now on to the review part. So, does this movie still hold up? Absolutely, and for reasons I'll go into. First, so, story. The story is well written. It pretty much tells the story of about a skeleton named Jack who wanted to try something new outside of Halloween, and eventually stumbles upon a Christmas themed land, hence the name Christmas Land. And tries to do his own version of Christmas. And I think that even though it pretty much became a bit of a disaster, it was still a fun experience. And it was fun to see him enjoy himself. So the story is actually really good. Acting. Well, the acting in this is really well done. With the likes of, what's his name? Zach. Yeah, Chris Sarandon as Jack, and with his singing voice done by Danny Elfman, who's the composer of this movie, which I'll talk about later on, and you've got Catherine O'Hara as Sally, which I will say, for most of the voice some of the voice actors in this were also in Beetlejuice, which was another Tim Burton film. And you got the voice of Paul Rubin, who you may know as the guy who plays Pee Wee Herman in Pee Wee's Playhouse. So the voice acting in this is really good. It really pretty much was really well done for each of the characters. Like for example, I'm actually using a website here for notes here because let's see, what's his name? Like for the character Dr. Finkelstein, voiced by William Hickey. William Hickey. He pretty much was pretty much a really good role for said character, because because Finkelstein is a mad scientist and father of Sally, and who's essentially a control freak who pretty much prevents Sally from having a normal life. So, translation, a major asshole. So yeah, voice acting is really good, especially Ken Page, who voiced Oogie Boogie in both voicing and singing, which I think it's about time I'll go on to the next subject, music, which I usually keep for last, but I'll cover it now. Music is really well done, as it's composed by Dan Elfman, who pretty much composes the music for pretty much all of Tim Burton's films, and also composes the music for The Simpsons. And I think he was also the composer for Batman the Animated Series, but don't hold me on that because I could be wrong. And the songs are pretty much some of the most well-known and memorable songs in cinema history. Songs like What's This and what's that reference? I know this isn't very professional, but This Is Halloween, Jack Skellington. All the songs in this were really well done, and I can see why years later they did a cover album called Nightmare Revisited, which had like the Marilyn Manson covering This Is Halloween, What's This, covered by Fall Out Boy, and there was also even a cover of Sally's song by Amy Lee of Evanescence, which is a really good cover. If you can find it, give it a listen to. But anyway, music in this is amazing, and it's definitely worth getting a soundtrack to. And while you're at it, get Nightmare Revisited. What else? Okay, and now we'll go into the animation. Now, the animation in this was really well done because this was back in during the early stages of stop motion, and for its time it was actually pretty well done, even though there were some instances where you can see some errors here and there, but like for example the bats having strings and some things disappearing during one of the shots. But other than that, you can't really complain that much because with stop motion, some liberties have to be taken into account, and this is one of them. But other than that, animation is well done, and there's not really that many flaws to it. So it's pretty well done, and there's not really much else to say other than the one last question. Can I recommend this? Absolutely. If you're looking for a film to watch at Christmas time, then this is your film, and it's also a good thing to watch if you're looking for a Tim Burton movie that doesn't have Johnny Depp in it. Oh, come on. I think all of us have noticed that. I mean, seriously, in nearly every single new film Tim Burton makes, Johnny Depp's in it. And that's one I'm pretty getting sick of it. Get back casting, Burton! But they still rock. Because Tim Burton is a damn good director, and just like with Batman Returns and Beetlejuice, this is one of his best. You can find this film really dirt cheap from places like Amazon or Play.com, and you may be able to find it on Netflix depending on where you live. And with that, we come forward with more reacting and everything. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and if there's something you want me to check out, then consider it clear via YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. And until next time, I'm signing out. Merry Christmas, y'all.